Are you sure about that?
Must crush capitalism.
The Krasny Krym is a tier 4 premium that had too many makeups and spent too much time staring at the mirror, trying to climb its way up to the plane of obsolescence. It excels at losing so much for very little gain. Just like Soviet space program, unable to keep up with OG capitalist technology, it sacrifices favorable matchmaking and concealment, but it gains something that pretty much developed its playstyle. With AFT, the main guns can reach an absurd 16km range, more than enough to outrange BB or to stay outside their effective range. Then you realize that it has lots of 130mm guns, and also low HP. Does this remind you of anything? So why does it is still treated like a forgotten Soviet state? Because it is an obsolete ship with obsolete ship problems. You can only shoot half of all available guns at a time, cutting the gross DPM by half, which is already halved by having crappy shell ballistic. However, having guns all around the ship gives it one advantage that other HE spamming ship doesn't get, which is on-demand broadside. It is the key to master this glorified Christmas decoration. By changing broadside in between shots, you can maximize DPM and keep shells in the air, while being unpredictable enough to avoid shots. You have 16km of range to play with, your main target are BB, and making sure they are always on fire. Best thing about being a tier 5 is the ability to penetrate equal tier BB with small caliber HE, and also penetrate higher tier cruiser, without taking IFHE. With ripple fire and 11% fire chance, you can set fire on anything and keep them lit, including higher tier ships that are probably being driven by anti-vaxxers, so you can keep those flags coming. Your absurd range also helps to secure kills on people who are running away, but most importantly of all, is the ability to lob cells over islands. You use islands as they were VPN providers, abusing them for security and convenience. It is low tier after all, and not giving a shit about teammates is a foreign concept to players in this range. But you are not one of them. You are a thinking man, and a thinking man in random battle will do whatever they can to reward themselves, because it doesn't have much HP, and very vulnerable against HE, exacerbated even more by the fact that BBs who kept shooting HE are very common in this tier.
I am sickened, but curious.
Funnily enough, it has the best protection against AP, another perk of being an obsolete ship. With 25mm plating around the lower hull, it is practically immune to 14-inch AP and lower, while anything on the upper hull would just overpen. I haven't even mentioned the waterline citadel, which is not present on other Soviet ship. This makes it the most protected cruiser in the game, save for the occasional lucky shots not aimed at you, but it is definitely not made from explodium despite popular thoughts. A socialist ship for the Socialist Republic, but works better with a capitalist mindset. If you want to succeed on the Krasny Krym, then you must be behind objects, or run around like a headless chicken, and forget about supporting destroyers. It's not stealthy enough to scout, and too slow to get out of trouble, but as long you play it safe, you will prevail against tier 5 randomness, and free your thoughts that every game is another installment of Mission Impossible. What about AA? The good news is you only face tier 6 CV. The bad news is you are facing tier 6 CV. So go figure. Now it is time for the obligatory segment of keeping the meme alive. This is how you equip the Wish.com Smolensk. You get preventative maintenance, adrenaline rush, basic firing training, advanced firing training, and then concealment, then take demolition expert, and finally any of these 2 points skill. For the upgrades you take main armament 1, engine room protection, and aiming system. Don't forget fire flags as well. This is a ship with great potential, but overlooked by many because other cruiser are just easier to play, which is a valid reason. But what better ship to cheese the enemy for their lack of knowledge? It is very cheap and you probably have one already, so I suggest you give it a try. You will see how stale HE spamming has become, and how effective it is at such low tier, but then again who cares? This is a video about how to play a ship, not to balance the game. Now go out there and smash casuals while casually beating everyone else's PR.